Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of The Garage. I'm Brian.
I'm Ed.
And I think it was last weekend we did that video on 10 things real men do.
Yes.
Yes. I wanted to start off, and I showed this to Ed before we started this video. It's a quote from Thomas Jefferson. And for all you guys out there, like the guy who pulled up in my yard.
Yeah.
Timid men prefer the calm of despotism to the tempestuous sea of liberty. Thomas Jefferson said that, one of our founding fathers. And what astounds me about so many people today is they're so willing to just roll over and show their belly to big government.
Yep.
And, oh, please take my freedom, and let me know when it's okay for me to come out,
They could never even put out this whole COVID thing in the 60s.
Yeah.
It never would have rolled.
Nope. 60s, 70s, never would have worked. But
they've been grinding down America to the point where we're like, oh, we have to comply.
Yep, and you need to check that video out too, by the way. Agenda, the grinding down of America.
Yep, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, because and my mom even said
they couldn't beat us in the Great War, so they're like, oh, we'll just come and take your kids.
Oh yeah,
slowly.
It's just it
really creepers.
It blows my mind.
Yep,
blows my mind. It's creeping socialism.
Yep, it's creeping socialism. Yep. That's a good term.
And this is a really good quote from a former president, Teddy Roosevelt. So, to all you guys out there who have a problem with our videos, where it says 10 things real men do and stuff like that, and how we talk about guys with man buns and soy boys and all this other stuff, let me read this to you from Teddy Roosevelt. Matter of fact, he led a group of guys called the Rough Riders.
Yes.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
It's good.
Yeah. I've been studying history and looking at quotes from founding fathers and presidents for, I can't even tell you how long, before the internet. And this is the thing, and I made a post a while back, and we're always transparent in our videos, right? I made a post and asked people for prayer because I was struggling with certain aspects of my personality. Every man does. Okay? We all struggle with darkness. Okay? And before I became a Christian, I would give into that regularly.
Yeah.
And I relished
a lot of men do.
Yeah, I relished in it before I was a Christian. Just absolutely demolishing people who called themselves Christians when I discovered they were more a hypocrite than a Christian.
Yeah.
I would just absolutely demolish them. And as a Christian myself now, I have to say this. Every man, if he's a real man, if he's real honest anyway, struggles with that aspect of himself. It's the warrior in him. It's the fighter. It's the you're not going to hold me down. You're not going to beat me down mentality. And when that man is looking at his country and seeing his fellow countrymen, seeing other men cowering in fear, his reaction, his attitude, his temper gets tested. I mean, I think we'd all agree on that. And especially if he's attacked. And it's a daily battle, man. Let's be honest. It is a daily battle not to return fire in kind. Whether it's, on the internet or whether it's verbally or whatever. Okay? Case in point, we're witnessing around our country. We got 4 states that have the highest death toll from this virus.
Yeah.
And they're all Democrat controlled. We're watching these Democrats
Yeah, I saw
gleefully increase the death toll numbers in their states.
I saw a pulse picture of America where everyone voted red, blue, and then I saw the Corona stats, and it was all the blues were where all the Coronas is.
Yeah, yeah. And when you see a Democrat governor,
not all the Coronas, but a lot.
Well, the patients of these viruses in these Democrat states, where you see a Democrat governor order them to be put in a nursing home.
Yeah.
God forbid,
with other people in there that don't have it, that are highly susceptible.
Yeah, God forbid my parents ever have to. I hope that never happens. But as an American man, a male, it goes against everything that I believe. It goes against everything we believe.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I should say we.
No, it's fine.
But that aspect of yourself that you struggle with, that when you run into somebody that's just, let's be honest, stupid.
Yeah.
Like the guy who pulled up outside my house. My first impulse, I'll be honest with you, was to deck him.
Yeah.
That was my first impulse. When he opened his mouth, the idiocy that came out of this man's mouth, it was all I could do not to leave him laying on the side of my house over here and walk in and, hey, you might want to send an ambulance to come pick him up.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't going to, now, let me clarify. I would never kill somebody like that, okay? No. Yeah. Now, but punch him right in the face? Yeah. Yeah. And I resisted that urge, I'll be honest with you. And after the confrontation was over, I come in my garage and I kind of closed the garage door and kind of let it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So, it's just, how can I put this? I mean, I'm trying to put this as eloquently as possible here, But I know there are other men out here in our country that love our nation. There's former military. By the way, Memorial Day.
Yes.
Don't forget those who have served.
Yes.
Those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom that we're watching our fellow Americans just toss away.
Just toss. Oh.
Okay? Pray for their families. Pray for those who didn't come home. Pray for their families to have strength and peace and the Spirit of the Lord to come in where they're at.
Yeah.
And to help them heal.
I saw a thing about that on Facebook of guys storming Normandy.
Yeah.
And then guys now with their mask and gloves hiding behind the couch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of a little bitty made up. But anyway.
Sorry. It's okay.
Now bullets are flying past your head, sure. And a mask is going to save you.
Duck and hide if you got bullets flying, man. But a little thing that the news media and the government's blown out of proportion.
Yes.
Don't duck and hide.
Yes.
The American male, man. I mean, it's like ever since the 80s. Goes back to the 80s. You had, and everybody talks about Oprah Winfrey.
Yep.
Nobody remembers how she got her start, but I do. Because my mom played her program here in the house a little bit at one time. Her whole shtick, when she started her program was men are bad.
Oh, yeah.
Men are horrible. Men are evil. Men need to get more in touch with their feminine side. Let me clarify something here. I can speak for both of us, I think. Sure. I ain't got a feminine side. I'm a man.
This shirt says it all right here.
I smell hippies. Yeah. I'm never going to...
I had to wear this for Damon. By the way, Damon, how you doing, buddy?
There you go.
He's called Reagan the worst president we've ever had.
Oh, wow. No, that was Obama.
And didn't want to get into that subject, so yes.
Yeah. I'd have been like, I think you're getting a little confused, man. That was Obama. But anyway. And Carter was terrible. Yeah. But anyway,
they were men.
Men were men
back then.
I'm not going to get in touch with something I don't have. Just not going to do it. And at the same time, something else, and I'm sure a lot of guys have run into this that I thought we should touch on, is I know there are some real women out there, okay? And there are some real women out there that want a man that's a man, okay? But they're few and far between today. with the influence of feminism. I call actually a good term would be to use toxic feminism.
Yeah.
They like to say
there's
toxic.
a lot of good conservative Christian women.
There are, but
shout out to you.
They're how can I put this? And I'm not coming from my own personal experience of dating and stuff hadn't been too good, but I'm not going to let that color my opinion here, okay? But there are a lot of women out here that when they get a guy, that by the time this guy comes along, there's so much damage been done.
Yeah.
That now you've got to wade through all of the damage that's been done. And that's why I post this stuff on our webpage. Hey, women, here's 10 things real men do. Here's traits to look for in a man. And guys, here's traits to look for in a woman. Here's the kind of woman you want to avoid.
Yeah.
You know? And I watched a video by a guy. Now, this guy is in no way a Christian. Okay? And before I say this, to all you single moms out there, God love you. Okay? Single moms are special. Because they're doing the job of both. Really. Okay? But this guy talked about reasons why not to date a single mom. Okay, let me modify that statement. Okay? A single mom that ain't a Christian, a single mom that's a wishy-washy Christian or hypocritical Christian.
So there's a lot of single moms out there that want to be single moms.
Yeah.
They just want the income from someone.
Yeah.
So they don't have to go through
now,
fat butts and work.
My own personal experience. Yeah, you did. Yeah. You can send a message to Ed via or just.
I didn't say all women have fat butts and don't like to work.
Hey, okay, you can send a message to Ed.
It's just the ones that. Sorry, I'll shut up now. Caution!
You can send messages to Ed.
Caution, man digging hole for himself.
Yeah, boy. I got a shovel out in the shed if you need some help. But now, what the point I'm getting at here is you got to. It is shark-infested water. Let's be quite honest. And it don't matter if it's a single mom or a single dad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're getting into a relationship, you got to, there are variables you got to look at. Yes. Is she really a Christian?
Yes.
Or is she a Christian insofar as it serves her purpose?
Yes. Is she a Sunday Christian?
Yeah. And I dated. Morning Christian? I'm just going to say I knew somebody like that. Okay? The only time Christ or God or the Bible ever came up was when it suited her purpose. Okay? And between her and she had a couple of kids before I met her. And guys or women, if it's a single dad or woman that is involved with, this can be devastating to you. Devastating to you emotionally, devastating to you spiritually, devastating to you financially. Because between this woman and her kids or this guy and his kids, they'll drain everything you got. And then there you are, empty-handed. And they're on down the road.
Yep.
Okay?
Sucking the life out of the next person.
Yep. And in
succubus.
particular...
Talk about succubuses.
Oh, yeah. and I think we'll make a video on that spiritual subject at some point. I think it's actually it might be our third video because we're going to do a third video today. You just gave me the next video.
Okay, we already did that video, but...
Alrighty. Yeah. Anyway. He's a video librarian, I guess.
I'm just saying.
But, you got to be cautious, man. And and I am going to use a little bit of my own personal experience, because I've been through that. And I would not see anyone, be it a woman or a man, go through that in their life. Because it really leaves you devastated for a long time, and it takes you a long time to heal from it. And I'm fine now. But you just got to be cautious, man. And that's where following the Word of God comes in. In your dating life.
If she's a real Christian.
Yes.
And she's single mom.
Yes.
For whatever circumstances. If she's a real Christian, then she's not out there to suck the next guy dry.
And she's not bouncing from one man to the next.
Yeah.
She's got morals. She's got character. Same thing for guys.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm a single father of a daughter, and I don't know how many times I lost track. Women were like, single women that didn't have kids. When do I get to meet your daughter? I said, not for a while.
Yeah.
Seriously? We just started going out. And you want to meet my daughter already? No, because if it don't work out, kids get attached real easy.
Yeah.
And then when it don't work out, the kid thinks it's their fault.
Yep.
That ain't fair. So I was like, I'm not going to do that to my daughter. I'm going to protect my daughter.
Yep.
And a lot of them would get mad. So I don't want to see you anymore. Okay, bye. You know.
Yeah.
So sorry.
There's the door.
Yeah. You know. Next. But honestly, back then I didn't understand a lot of the concepts. If we look at God's word, it gives us guidelines, not just for marriage, but as far as dating goes.
Yeah.
Okay? And I see too many Christians out here who are willing to, how can I put this, compromise their morals, compromise their biblical beliefs. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to compromise. We are not going to compromise.
Yeah.
If a lady is looking for a man of substance, that's the kind of man she wants.
Yeah.
That will not compromise. Yep. And that's in public and in private. Let me clarify that.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know right now, as you were talking about this, 3 ladies come to my mind right now that are doing it the right way. So shout out to you. I'm not going to say your names, but shout out to you because you're not dating the next guy that came along.
Good job.
And you're raising your kids.
Yep.
And you're, keeping them in church and doing the right thing. So shout out. Awesome.
Yep.
Keep up the good work.
And here's the thing to those ladies. That's the sort of thing that will make you attractive to the right guy.
Yeah. Yep.
And you'll know if he's interested.
Yep.
God will show you. God has a lot of different ways of showing us stuff. It's funny about that. So, but, the right guy is out there. The right woman is out there.
Yep. But, you keep your focus on God, not on who I'm going to meet next.
Exactly.
And then it'll come along.
Well, let's be honest. We've both been through nightmare scenarios in relationships. We've both been through them. And Ed can tell you firsthand. I mean, when me and Ed first met, I was so anti-dating, anti-marriage.
Yep.
I really was.
Yes, you were.
Oh,
you made me promise that if I ever got divorced, I wasn't going to date for 2 years or 3 years, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm not making that promise. Sorry.
Yeah. And but the funny thing is talking about the whole thing with the single moms and things like that, and me being anti-marriage and all this stuff. The one thing you got to be cautious of is we all have bad relationships. And we have to be careful not to carry over that relationship to the next relationship, because that next one, that might be the one God has intended for you.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to that person to, and I'm going to segue into something, it's not fair to that person to carry that over or do a comparison between that person and the other or others.
Yeah.
I can use personal experience. I was with somebody who would talk about previous boyfriends and previous husbands, and even insofar as personal things, I'll say that. I'm trying to keep it family friendly here. And you can't do that to the other person. First off, it's manipulative, it's controlling, and it's wrong.
Yeah. Absolutely
wrong. I can't really go into too much detail on how they did it, but just say it was wrong, okay?
Yeah.
Because you're never going to be that person. It's not fair to make the other person compete with other people that are not there. You can't compete with a ghost.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So if you've been through a bad relationship, be you a man or a woman with a single mom, single dad, or they don't have any kids, and you've been through that bad, you got to give yourself time to heal. And that's why, remember, I tried to make you promise, wait 2 years.
Yeah.
But you do have to have time to heal, believe it or not. It doesn't matter how ready a person thinks they are. Believe me, when you go through a divorce, you go through a bad breakup with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a fiance, whatever, it takes time to heal from that. You can't just jump right back out there, because it's not going to be fair to the other person. You got to think about the other person. And you also got to think about yourself, your own mental health and well-being, your spiritual well-being. Because that is, if you're in a really good relationship or you're in a really bad relationship, it's devastating to a person emotionally, spiritually, physically. And I don't know how many people I've known, and I went through it. I'll be honest with you, interest transparency, I'm divorced. But it took me, well, first off, when that finally happened, I was off work for 3 months on stress leave. Doctors took me off. I was just physically done. I was spent because you put everything into it, right? I mean, you put a lot of effort, a lot of emotion, and you invest a lot. And then for it to go, you think you're ready, but then when it happens, you go, you just kind of crash. You go through, what do? You go through a period of time of adjustment of, and you need that. A human being needs that. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You have to take that time for yourself to reevaluate, and you got to be cautious too, because I tried counseling, Christian counseling. Let me clarify. Mm-hmm. And I went to this one church here in the area. Don't get me started on this one, but I'll say this.
You're starting yourself.
The first thing out of the guy's mouth was, well, you have to realize it's your fault. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Without even hearing anything about my story or anything, it's your fault. Okay. Let me say something. If you're in a relationship where the other person has cheated on you and manipulated you and the stuff like that, that I've talked about, it's your fault for picking that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's be honest, okay, it is. Or it's your fault for rushing into it.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about, without going into detail. Don't rush into it, but realize it's not all your fault as well. A lot of people, I've had a lot of buddies that have gone through relationships where marriages, dating or whatever, where it didn't work out. The dating ones, it didn't work out, and it didn't work out, off they went. But the marriage ones, my Lord have mercy, the devastation, especially if they got kids. Because then there's finger pointing, there's accusations, there's this, there's that, they get hit with restraining orders. One friend of mine, I'm not going to name any names, got hit with child abuse charges. They were unfounded. Mm-hmm. Nothing ever happened. Yeah. But it's devastating to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
It is, absolutely. And then, of course, for one parent to use to use the children as a weapon is just dumbfounding. God gave us kids, and kids are supposed to be a blessing, not a weapon. And any parent that uses their child as a weapon or does things to turn their child against the other parent, God will deal with them. Because you are now damaging a child. You're doing more damage to that child than you are to the other parent, believe it or not. And it's not fair. So be cautious, before you get into a relationship. Approach it biblically. Approach it prayerfully. And make sure it's the person God has for you. And do things according to the Word. Because if you do that, God will bless it. You got to be able to put Jesus at the center of your relationship. In any relationship. Yeah. Be it dating, be it engagement, be it marriage, be it business, be it friendship. If Jesus is not at the center, truly at the center, man, it just doesn't go well. So that's about all I can say.
There you
go. So, but also on top of that, if you're not a Christian, if you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, I'm going to tell you right now, good luck, because over 50, I think it's 52% of marriages end in divorce today. And I think looking at the causal factors of that, number one is how many of them aren't Christians. Yeah. Real born-again Christians, on fire for the Lord. Guys, ladies, if you're not putting Jesus Christ first, how can you love the other person truly?
Yep.
That's all I can say. So accept Jesus into your heart, into your life, and get your life right. Get your head screwed on straight before you try relationships. Please. So it'll be better for you, it'll be better for the other person, and especially if there's kids involved. So, that's it,
good.
Man.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah. God bless you,
God
guys.
bless.